It's time for my assistant to take over Discovery and Inspiration here. Maddie, what did you want to ask?
I forget.
Hello, I'm Dominic Damaski, and this is Discovery and Inspiration. On this episode, we make it a family affair, and cameraman Cam and I are joined by Maddie Hilarious, because Maddie told us about an amazing organization named Wildlife Works, who put on a presentation for her Girl Scout troop and left the girls thrilled. Wildlife Works is just down the road from my house in Youngwood, Pennsylvania, and they have an inspiring mission to rescue and rehabilitate injured or orphaned wildlife. They want to encourage responsible attitudes towards our wild neighbors. Let's check them out. This is Discovery and Inspiration. Today, me and Maddie Hilarious are here with Nicole Hinnerman, and she's going to teach us about the animals at Wildlife Works. Nicole, who is this we have here?
This is one of our patients from the spring. It was a squirrel that we raised, that was an orphan, and he was one of the later guys, so he had to stay. He's had to winter over with us. That's why he's still in this enclosure. He will get released when it's spring and nice out, and he can find shelter and nuts and stuff like that. But he was a little bit of a late bloomer.
Do the animals have names?
Some of them do. This guy doesn't, as far as I know. Some people might call him something, that happens too. But this guy's not a resident, so I don't call him anything. He's just one of our patients.
Now, a patient, do you take them out and hold them and things like that?
Well, we had to with him. He came in, he was just little, he couldn't survive on his own. We had to feed him milk and stuff.
This one doesn't have a name. Maddie says we should name it, what do you want to name it?
Alvin.
Alvin, okay. Nicole likes that.
Yeah, I do.
So what is the reason a squirrel is here?
Well, the main reason is because they're orphaned, these squirrels, yeah. But they can come in for injury also. But the main reason we get squirrels is it's in the spring. They have 2 litters, spring and fall. So we'll get a lot of babies in at that time.
Okay.
Yep. So that's the main reason. But some do get hurt, maybe caught by a predator or fall out of the nest, when they're small and get injuries. But he was just raised by us because he was orphaned.
Who are these guys?
These are some ducks that we have placed. This one is a Canada goose, which is obviously a wildlife in our area, but somebody has raised this guy because you could tell he's tame. He likes to be around people and stuff. So, which that's not a good thing, he shouldn't be like that. It's illegal to be taming wildlife. But yeah, somebody raised him obviously. So he's here and he's waiting to get placed.
Let's go, Maddie. What are you doing?
That's a good name. I like it.
Nicole, who are these guys over here?
These guys, a lot of them just fly in, and they just come for our pond and for some food.
How long have you been volunteering?
Almost a year.
What's your name, sir?
Justin.
Justin, we appreciate what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Here, you're saying we have hawks?
Yes, we do.
Okay, tell me about the hawks.
These are 2 red-tailed hawks, Holmes and Watson. They do have a name because they're residents. They're injured to the severity that they can't be released into the wild again. So we have a place here for them, Holmes and Watson.
Now, what does a hawk eat?
We feed our hawks here frozen, thawed rats, mice, chicks, and well, we buy those. We have to buy them, and also sometimes if one of our volunteers are out and we see a roadkill or we happen to have the misfortune of hitting something ourselves, we'll bring it in for them. And they like that too,
Okay.
And it gives some variety in their diet.
Right, wow, who knew? I did you all a favor and turned the sound off because the crows were so loud, I still have a headache. Okay, we are heading into the red-tailed hawk enclosure. My cameraman and my assistant are a little bit freaked out here.
We're just keeping the door open.
This is what we call the continuous flyway. And it goes all the way around this circle, and they have these dividers. So when the circle first of all is for to see that they can continuously fly without taking a break or stopping to perch. Because like I said, like the hawks outside, they can jump from branch to branch and fly to them. And it looks like they can fly, but they can't really. This is where you can see if they're ready to be released. This is like the last stop for the raptors, that they can. You can see that they can really make it flying, and then they can be released. Isn't he beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are talons. He has talons in the beak, of a raptor, because they tear meat.
So this guy's about ready to get released into the wild?
Yes, he is.
Since since these hawks are like sort of the same family as eagles, like what would the same thing happen if you looked them in the eye? Like I've seen in movies, like something happens.
Well, yeah, you don't. Yeah, with them you don't really do that, just because sometimes they take it as like a threat. Like you want to kind of just keep your head down and just feed them, because like this guy he'll come swooping down for food if you like if you come in with his food in your hand, man, he wants it. It's bad enough to where he'll come down and come right by you. But most don't do that though. He's the exception.
Nicole, when I talk to you about the wildlife, you are very passionate about
Oh yes.
it. What makes you so passionate about it?
I just find such amazing wonder in nature. I just do. I mean, there's so much to learn, and I'm like one of those people that wants to learn stuff, always. And I'll tell you what, it never ends with nature and wildlife. It just doesn't. Every day I come in here, I learn something new or get something new out of it, and I'm try to give back to them also, because I get so much from them, and I really do. I mean, I could not live without having my feet grounded on this earth in nature. I just couldn't, and I can't imagine other people that don't have that. I don't know how. I get so much out of it. I really do.
I see Justin out volunteering.
Yeah.
You're here volunteering. You both are doing a great thing.
Yeah.
Are you looking for more volunteers?
Yes, they're always. Yeah.
Okay. So how can people find out about Wildlife Works?
Well, they can call us. They call the number, Wildlife Works phone.
We are in the food den. What is this place called?
Yeah, it's a garage, but it's our work area for outside.
Okay.
For when you're volunteering and when you're doing the outside, this is where you're going to find all your foods. This is sunflower, black sunflower, and these go in the feeders, and the squirrels eat this. And this would be for birds over here. That's just bird seed. But you see, we get big bags.
How the heck do you know what everything eats?
We know. From experience, a lot of us know what stuff eats, but there's also, if you don't know, like if we get a weird songbird in that, a junco or something, or a rose-breasted grosbeak, and you don't really know exactly what they eat, we have a binder that'll tell you, and I like that it'll say 31% protein, 20% fruit, vegetable, it'll tell you exact percentages of what it needs, so, and then it'll be a list of like what you could feed it, like what you may have, what kind of berries, all these different berries.
Who knew it was so technical?
I'm telling you, it's like a zoo. It really is. And you have to have food for everybody. It's really neat. I'm telling you.
This little guy is a screech owl. Tell me about a screech owl.
Well, this guy's full grown, and as you can see with my hand, they're pretty little. And they really blend in, these screech owls. That's the thing I seen when I first come here. It was so neat because they could be sitting on little branches like that's in these enclosures, and you never see them. They're like they sit there like all straight like this, and they have little horns like great horned owls do, like the little tufts of feathers on their head. And boy, they just blend right in with the sticks. They're so small. And this is a gray phase, I guess you'd call it, the feathers, because there's also a red phase.
If it's the same taking care of an owl as it is taking care of a parrot, or is it harder, easier?
And I would say to that the parrots are like more domesticated pet type animals, and so the parrots have tough beaks also that could really hurt you, in the same way that these birds' beak is, but they're wild though. So the thing with these guys is you got to catch them, and you got to hold them with gloves and stuff like that, where your parrot, he might come out on your arm or be a little bit easier to work with. But these guys, they're scared, So part of working with them is to try to make them feel like they're okay, like to make sure that they're reassured that you're not trying to hurt them, So even in treating them, you have to kind of like calm them down and try to do that whole part of it too.
Who do we have here? What is going on here?
This is Artemis, and he's a barred owl. Barred. Because every time I say it, I think people hear barn, but it's barred.
I always hear barn.
And it's because the barring on that's called barring, the feather pattern there.
With all the wildlife here, do they have personalities?
Yeah, yes they do. They each have their personalities,
Okay.
and every duck will be different than every other duck too. So if you want to take the time to get to know these animals, each and every one of them is different from each and every other one of them. Just like people. They're just like
The
people.
head's almost going 360, 270, you said.
270. Yeah, look at that.
Is your arm getting tired from holding this guy?
No, not at all. He looks bigger than he is. He weighs a lot less. I think it's like a 2 pounds or something they can weigh up to. But yeah, he has hollow bones for flight, and the feathers are very light, and he's much. You wouldn't think he's that. He looks heavier than he is.
Who's this guy?
This is Napoleon. He's a kestrel, American kestrel. This kestrel, he's a raptor. So he's so little, he's the size of a blue jay, but he eats meat just like a big hawk, a big owl. He has the talons, which make him a raptor, and his beak is a raptor's beak. So he's a little mighty hunter, this little guy.
This is such a cool place, Nicole.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about who and why Wildlife Work started?
Yeah. This beautiful organization was founded by Beth Schoaf. She lives here. This is her home and the hospital and the wildlife grounds. She's licensed by the PA Game Commission to rehabilitate wildlife. So she's able to handle it, to fix it up, to release it, and it's illegal for anybody else to do that. You're not even allowed to touch any wildlife, really. It's really illegal to even just touch anything out there that's wild. So she started this and has amassed a lot of volunteers that love being here, that work 4-hour shifts every day of the year. We don't get any days off, because animals need fed every day, even Christmas, and so she needs help there. But she has built this beautiful place for that's an amazing opportunity for even the volunteers.
You guys are all doing a great job. It's really awesome. This is the game changer here, the turtle.
The turtle.
How old is this turtle?
I'm not sure his age.
How do you know how old a turtle
You
is?
know what they say? You can find his age by these rings on this thing here. It looks like he's a lot.
Now, are all turtles snapping turtles? I mean, like...
Oh, no. This is a land turtle here. Snapping turtles are aquatic, so they live in the water. These are box turtles that live in the land, on the land. In fact, you couldn't, if they had only water, it would kill them. They had to be on the land with moist environment, but not in water.
So, let's say I'm driving down the road or I'm in my backyard and
Yeah.
I find a turtle like Doc or I find some wildlife. What should we do?
Well, turtles like this, if you would find a turtle that's not hurt, like you see them on the road a lot of times trying to cross the road.
Yeah.
It's like, you think, he's going to get hit. What you should do is the best thing for that is if he's walking, whatever way he's walking, if you can stop safely and get out of your car and pick him up off the road and put him as far onto the other side as you can, which way he's heading, that's the best thing to do for these guys.
Let's say I see some other form of wildlife that maybe got hit by a car or something
hurt.
else. What should we do about that?
That, you call us. Call us up.
Okay.
Yeah, or the Game Commission. You could do either one. But, you would give us a call. And I mean, certain circumstances, it would be advisable for, can you corral the animal in or, depending on the circumstance. Okay. But give us a call.
We're going into the snake pit.
There
I guess
we go.
it's a pit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's under here. There he is.
Yeah.
Nibblet, what you doing? He heard me coming. Hey, buddy. We're going to get you out, Nibblet.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
Dad's freaking out.
holy.
He's okay. You know what? A lot of people are scared, but he won't hurt you.
All right, we are bringing it home here.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
This is Nibblet the corn snake.
All right. Tell me a little about Nibblet the corn snake.
Nibblet was Niblet, first of all, is not native to Pennsylvania.
Wow, I'm about to pass out.
He's not native to Pennsylvania, but he is related to our black rat snake. He's a type of rat snake himself, but is native further down south, like the Carolinas and stuff. So our equivalents are the black rat, but he's a constrictor.
Wow.
He's not poisonous.
So how strong is this constrictor?
They can suffocate rats and small animals.
You're not freaked out by this?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
And what do they
They're
eat?
misaligned, aren't they?
What do they eat?
They eat rats, mice, small birds. They can eat. Our black rat snakes eat a lot of birds and chicks and nestlings and stuff. They can climb trees, and they get the nests. They can eat the eggs or the chicks.
That's a wrap for me. No more snakes. Wildlife Works, Nicole Henneman and the team, thank you for welcoming us. Maddie Hilarious, thanks for being a guest host. You're the best. Wildlife Works, your organization is so special. Thank you for all you are doing. Thank you for all you are doing to help protect and heal our wildlife. But also thank you for all you are doing to educate the public. It's so important. Please look these guys up. Wildlife Works. www.wildlifeworksinc.org. Look them up to volunteer, donate, and support their cause. This is Dominic Damaski, Motivation Champs. Thank you for sharing your precious time with us. If you like the episode, please like it, please share, and please subscribe.